Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Just sticking my spare camera into my camera charger whilst I remembered. Today we are back with another video, another review, and this time we're going to talk all things Gatsby. So if you want to know my thoughts and feelings on this show, stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. We're going to talk Gatsby. If you don't know, and this is your first time seeing my channel, firstly hello, but every show that I see I try to do 2 separate videos. The first one being the nervous guide. The nervous guide always comes first, usually is the last video. Basically the nervous guide is when we talk about things you need to know before you enter the show, so any sensory warnings, content warnings, my view from my seat, information about the theatre, anything you need to know prior to going in which might ease your nerves. Then we have this second video where we review the show. I hope the sun is not messing me up as much as I think it is. If it does, sorry, I can't control the weather. Although I'm not complaining because I'm outside seeing the theatre today and I want this to be like this. Anyway, the second thing that I do, the second video I do is the review. That's this video. The review is always put in inverted commas because at the end of the day I'm in no way professional. I'm basically just talking about my thoughts and my feelings on a show that I've seen. So take all with a pinch of salt. Okay, so yes, let's get into it. We're talking Gatsby. Firstly, £15. It's not part of the review, just wanted to complain about it and I didn't in the nervous guide. 15 British pounds. Anyway, I knew as soon as this show came over that I wanted to see it. The cast was announced and I was like, my goodness, the cast. We'll get into them in a little bit because I always like to do the creative side first and then the cast. But people I know had already seen it. They brought up a lot of hype. They made me very excited to see the show, and I was astounded. It is quite the spectacle. Obviously, being in the Coliseum, it needs to be a big space, it needs to have a big production, and this is a big production. The book for this show is written by Kate Kerrigan, who I know her work for the likes of The Mad Ones. That was Ones. Mad Ones? The Mad Ones. The music of this show has been written by Jason Howland and the lyrics are by Nathan Tyson. Jason Howland, Nathan Tyson. I feel like I said it wrong, so that's why I said it twice. The whole show is based on the story of the same name by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I have to hold my hands up and say I have never seen, or I've never read, should I say, the original source material. I've also don't think seen the film version all the way through. Sorry. So I knew a little bit about what was going to happen, but not a lot. And I have heard that it is wildly different to the book. That's why they say it's based on, as opposed to it is a production of. It definitely is a wow kind of show. Literally from the moment you step into the auditorium and you're greeted by the initial curtain and the lights and the glistening sounds and the sea, you're just like, oh, hit in the face. And that is very much the continuation through the show. It has a lot of wow moments, it has some big numbers with incredible costumes which have been done by Linda Cho. Wanted to shout that out because some of the costumes are literally stunning. The songs involved are, for the most part, really good. There are some that probably won't stick in my mind a lot, but that is okay. There are obvious like big numbers such as New Money, and I also really quite enjoyed Shady, which is how Act 2 starts. I don't know why. I don't know if it was a John Owen Jones moment, but I really enjoyed just everything about it. It was a great way to start Act 2. And the choreography involved is varied and beautiful. There is even tap in there, and I love a tap moment. The choreography has been done by Dominic Kelly, and also direction, whilst we're on choreography, because I always like to pair them together for some reason, direction is by Mark Bruni. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Might be Bruni, I don't know. Whilst we're sticking with the creative side, and I have already mentioned the costumes, the thing that works well alongside the costumes is the scenic and projections, which is by Paul Tate Poe III. Again, probably pronounced that so incorrectly, truly apologise. But it was colourful, bright, a great use of stand-alone set pieces, but also projections that helped things move on. There is 2 cars involved that move on and off the stage. Still hasn't beat the Hello Dolly train, but 2 cars is amazing. I like things that move that are big. I don't know why. Creatively, like I said, as soon as you walk into that space, you are all swifted and shifted off to a whole new world, a whole new space full of glamour and riches and spectacle and a bit of drama, but it is musical theatre, so what are you gonna do? But yeah, creatively it was so beautiful to watch. It was a lot on the senses, as I think I mentioned in the Nervous Guide, so if you are like me and it can be a lot, just be aware. Don't go really up close. Where I sat in the dress circle, I think was a good medium, because I was far enough away that I could take everything in, but I was also close enough that I could see everything that was happening. Yeah. Let's move on to the cast, because my oh my, when this cast got announced, I was literally like, is there anyone you haven't cast? The names involved in this show are big names. So you have the likes of Jane Moscato, Frances Maylie McCann, Amber Davis, John Montague, John Owen Jones, as previously mentioned, John Robbins, Rachel Tucker. All big musical theatre names. Every person that I have just mentioned also have a solo moment, if you will. They are the lead person in at least one song, although now I'm saying that, did John Robbins? Maybe John Robbins didn't, but he's not a nice man in this. Spoiler alert. I really enjoyed seeing Jane Moscato in this role. Always been a fan of him since the days that I saw him in Dogfight, and the pipes that man has are insane. I was like, excuse you, at some points. Same with Frances Maylie McCann. I first saw her in Our Lady's Perpetual Sucker, and I've been again obsessed with her ever since. Already mentioned, really enjoyed John Owen Jones in the show, in the song Shady. Starts off Act 2, phenomenal, and I really enjoyed it. Just love that song. I'm gonna listen to it today. And Rachel Tucker's big moment in the song, should have written this down, One Way Road. Oh my goodness. If you're gonna go out, you're gonna go out like that, is all I'm saying. Whilst we're on the lead cast, if you will, Corbin Bleu, who again, when this this show got pronounced and they were like, and this person is going to play Nick Carraway, and I was like, excuse you? But saying that, he told the story really well. The whole show is kind of the recollection from Nick's point of view, so you get what's going on in Nick's life but also what's going on in everyone else's life. But I really enjoyed seeing Corbin Bleu on a stage in the West End. It was slightly unexpected, but a great watch. Speaking of a great watch, the ensemble, again, just like with the lead, I hate saying lead and ensemble because it's such an ensemble piece, everyone is always everywhere. The ensemble were insane and also full of so many people I've previously seen in other productions, so it was really nice to kind of watch people that I've seen previously and really enjoy their performances performing again, if that makes sense. If I had the time and I didn't have to check out in about 15 minutes, I would talk about every single member of that ensemble. They were absolutely incredible and brilliant to watch. One shout out for me would go to Amy Fisher. She has a song, or she leads a song in Act 2 called La Di Da With You. Now, I love Amy Fisher. I've seen her in previous productions of different things, and to see her up there on the stage essentially being the lead in that song was just very, very exciting. I also know that she, this week, as I went to see it, had her first time, or her debut should I say, being Myrtle, and I'm not usually a fan of a slime tutorial or but if anybody recorded her singing Myrtle's song One Way Road, I'd love to hear that, please. I don't condone it normally, is that even the right words? I don't usually agree with that, but yeah, this show was absolutely excellent, so great to watch. I would have to say it's not one that I feel I can rush back to and watch constantly, because it is a lot. But that is not to say that before the hold on for my notes, the 7th of September 2025, I wouldn't say no to a return, especially if I can find another deal like the one I took last night to see that show, because the fact I only paid £17.10 for where I sat was unbelievable. But there we are. I'm going to shut up because I've filmed 2 of these videos now back to back. My foot has gone numb and I still have half a croissant to eat before I check out, so I'm going to shut up. Say thank you for watching. Firstly / lastly, have you seen this show? What did you think of it? Let me know, tell me your thoughts, let's chat. But all that's left to say is the usual, and that is thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye. Bye.